Hey everyone, welcome back to Bald Guys with Guns. I'm Rob.
And I'm Jeremy.
Today we're starting a new series about
Rob's new build.
my new rifle build. I'm going to build a custom gun.
Right? So throughout this series, we are going to be taking you guys through the journey of Rob's thought process, why to build this particular custom rifle, and on top of that, we have, a planned idea, I guess you could say, of taking you through step by step as we actually build the rifle.
Right, yeah. I can only get parts as they're available, and barrels are custom made, so they take time to get, and actions as well. So the only part I have right now is this one,
Yep.
which we'll talk about in a moment.
Yeah, and so the idea of this is to kind of interview Rob and get to understand his thought process, dive deep into, why a custom rifle, why this caliber, and really figure out, to try and help our viewers, what suits you, what are you looking for, and then to build a gun based on what you want versus what others say.
Yeah. Yep. And so because this is my personal custom build, Jeremy is going to be here. He's going to be off camera asking me interview questions. We tried to come up with questions we thought you as the audience might ask. Obviously, feel free to ask more in the comments, but hopefully we cover most of that.
Yeah. And as the comments come in, this is going to be a multiple video series. And so we can address some of your more popular questions throughout this if you stay tuned and watch till the end.
Yep. And once I have all the parts, we're going to take you along the ride to the gunsmith who's going to be putting it together and doing all the machining that needs to be done, and we'll be filming that for you as well.
Right. So let's get started. Let's start asking those questions.
Let's do it.
Let's get to the hard stuff. So Rob, tell us, what are you going to be building?
So I'm going to be building a custom bolt action rifle for long range shooting out to about 1,200 yards should be doable with what I'm doing. And it's going to be in 6 GT.
Okay. So, in Bald Guys Off Cameras, we've talked about building a custom 223, a 6.5 PRC. The 7 PRC was kind of the more hot one that we've been discussing. What changed your mind and settled on the GT?
So a couple different things. Ballistics were a big part. It's because I really liked the idea of getting a custom 223, and the problem with the 223 is you can only go so big before you lose a lot of speed. And the 6mm all go pretty fast and can be bigger bullets and give you better BC out to 1,000, 1,200 yards. I wasn't really looking for something that would go like a mile yet, because I also was thinking about barrel life. Obviously, when you're building a custom gun, you're wanting a gun that can shoot 1/4 inch or better groups for the standard life of the barrel. And a lot of these hotter rounds that'll go a mile last about 12 to 1,500 rounds. And like 223s and 6 GT, they'll go 2,000 plus rounds before you start losing accuracy and things like that.
Okay. So a little bit of the distance, some of the ballistics, and for longevity. I feel like that's a good way to start when you build your first gun.
Yeah, I'm trying to get the most bang for my buck, right? Like I don't want to build something and then, obviously we have a gun channel, right? I'm going to shoot it a lot, and I don't want to burn through it in a year. I want it to last maybe 2 or 3 before I have to rebarrel it, or, whatever the case may be.
Okay. We had a really cool intro to this video.
Yes, we did.
Is that, tell me a little bit about your chassis.
So I chose the MDT Elite, ACC Elite chassis system, as you can see here. It is one of their nicer, more expensive chassis that they have on their website. This build is going to be a bench gun, target gun, not hunting or anything like that. So I want heavy things. I want to make it heavy to reduce recoil and make it just enjoyable to shoot. So obviously this chassis isn't the lightest on the planet. But yeah.
So, why MDT's Elite ACC? There are many options out there, but why this one?
Well, for one, I really like the look of this. If I'm going to build a custom gun, I'm also going to make it look the way I want to make it look. And I personally am a fan of the way this chassis looks. The other reason I went with this one is because if you look at, here, I'm going to throw up on screen a picture of MDT's website and a picture of this chassis with an actual like barrel and stuff in it. You can see that the rail goes almost the length of the barrel. And that's something I really wanted. I wanted to be able to push my bipod out towards as far out to the end of the barrel as possible. And so that played a huge part in why I chose this one over some of MDT's other options or other options out there.
Okay. Now, this is a customized gun. This is a custom chassis, but do you plan on customizing your chassis any more than it already is?
I actually do. Now, this is no fault of MDT. They chose to only come out with 3 colors on this, and black, FDE, and a blue color that I can't remember what they call it blue-wise. That's all they offered, and I kind of wanted to go with something a little different. So I'm only going to Cerakote this part of the chassis. I want to get a nice bright green, similar to like, not quite like this, but in this area.
Our bald guy green.
Our bald guy green is pretty close as well. Cerakote.com actually calls it parakeet green, if anybody wants to go look. And the other cool thing is, our gunsmith that's going to put this together for us, he has a laser etcher, laser engraver. And so after it's Cerakoted, he's going to laser engrave bald guys with guns on the chassis for me. So I'm going to make it very custom to me. And so, yeah.
That's going to be great. Lastly, this is the exterior. This is one of the important things, but maybe not the most important. So we know that there's missing pieces. What other parts are you going to be getting, and take us on the next steps of your journey here?
Right. So this is currently the only part that I have. The other things that we need are a trigger, we need an action, and we need a barrel. Bronson from Precision Rifle Works is our gunsmith that's going to put this all together. And he's a local guy to us, and we met him at a Sub for Santa event that we have a video on that you can click up here. And so he's going to actually make an action and get me a custom barrel. I think the barrel actually comes from a company called Excalibur. I think it's an Excalibur barrel, but he's going to chamber it and thread the barrel for me and stuff like that. So, but yeah, those parts take time to get. So as I get those parts, we'll talk more about those.
Well, Rob, thanks so much. As we dive deeper into this, we read our comments, and as even I get more questions, and maybe as the study goes on, more questions come up, we will address those here on this channel and really try to help understanding what the process is and what your thought process should be as you build a custom rifle.
And I'm happy to answer any question as best I can. I don't know the most about this stuff, but I am very excited about it, and so I've done quite a bit of research. So hopefully I can answer your questions if you have any.
And we've shot a 6GT, and
I have shot one. Yes,
we were very pleased with how it actually performed.
Yes, and I'm our gunsmith thinks he can get me something that shoots same hole groups, and that's what we're hoping for.
Well, let's see. Journey, come along and let's find out. So thanks again, everybody, for coming.
Yep, we appreciate you guys being here. We hope you enjoy this series as we drag you along my custom build process.
Yep. And there's always one thing all bald guys need to remember.
What's that?
Only the most beautiful scalps
are bald.
We'll see you next time.